Hello and welcome to the second part of my crash course car flipping thing that I came up with in the last video. In this segment, I'm going to show you guys a couple sites or sources of where to get your vehicles from, the most reliable places that I find and where the best deals are in my opinion. So the first place that I usually go for buying is Kijiji, obviously. Basically what you want to do, cars and vehicles, cars and trucks. And then you basically just fill out all your information. So what I do is I go used, set the price whatever you want. Little tip for you guys though, like the higher price the vehicle is, the more potential you have to make profit. Like let's say that there's a car that's for 12 grand and it's worth 16, I wouldn't necessarily go for it because more expensive cars take a lot longer to sell and there's a lot more risk when you put up that much money. What I usually try to stick to is below 6 or 7 grand. What I've kind of been doing now, my past few cars, I've been sticking to buying cars for 2 or 3 and putting no more than 4 or 5 grand into them, and then selling them for like 6 or 7, right? But I try not to buy too high because then you can't buy as many cars at once. There's a little bit more risk and they take a little bit longer to sell the more expensive they are. Like the cars that sell that you would sell for 4 or 5 go super quick. Like I've had streaks where like 3 cars in a row sell in like 2 weeks and I wouldn't even have them posted for 2 weeks. Like I'd buy them and they'd be gone in 2 weeks. And those are usually the cars that sell around 4 grand. So that's kind of what I like to do. But then again, if you're looking for a car for 3 grand, 4 grand, put in 5 grand. Or if you're looking for a car for 5 grand, put in 6 grand, or maybe even a little bit more, because then you get prices a little bit above what you are, and you can obviously talk them down, right? So yeah, let's search these vehicles. Yeah, definitely go newest first. And the reason you'd want to go newest first is because I'll get into this a little bit more detail in the next video, but you're going to want to find cars that are just posted because you're going to hop on those deals right away. So yeah, this is Kijiji. This is pretty much the best, one of the best sites to buy them on. This one and another one I'm going to show you. Also the best for selling. Kijiji's not the best for selling. There's definitely one more. And then definitely kilometers. This one's a big one. I'll get into this in the next one. But this is where you enter kilometers. Try not to go too high. Like what I do is not a lot. Okay, so that's that. We'll get a bit more into what kind of cars you want to get in the next video. But I'm going to show you a couple more sites I use to find cars. Okay, so this is the other one that you guys are really going to want to go to, like your go-to. This is the one that I'm constantly scrolling at all times of the day pretty much. Facebook, obviously. Obviously you guys have heard of Facebook. I'm not too sure if you guys heard of Marketplace though, because I didn't really until my second or third car. I don't really remember. Which is actually a tragedy and a half because you can get a lot more money off Facebook just because of the sheer amount of views you get. Like on Facebook, you get, I would say, kind of depending on the vehicle, I guess, but like I would say around 5 times as many views, sometimes as much as like 10 times as many views. Like it's pretty crazy. And obviously if you're getting more views, you're going to, number one, sell faster, but number 2, you're going to get more money for your car because if there's more demand, obviously you can jack up the supply price type of thing, that kind of deal. Yes, definitely you're going to want to use this one. How you use it, I guess if you're on Facebook, there's probably a link to it somewhere. I don't want to scroll on my Facebook page for you guys. Look at that little picture there. That's me in a little bike race. I used to do road biking. Okay, so I guess price right here. So like I did in the last one, 6 grand because I'm looking for a car between 4 and 5. I'm gonna click enter. Okay, so you top picks, whatever. You want to click on vehicles, see all. Location, yeah, Calgary. You can fix the location. The phone app's a little different. It's honestly a little bit easier to use because I don't know, maybe it's just because I've used it more. Okay, what export? Yeah, okay, here we go. So this is what you're gonna want to do here. This is like the bad boy I have right now, except mine has like half the kilometers, so a lot more priced. Kilometers are one of the most important things you're looking for cars. So yeah, you can kind of scroll through here. Yeah, it's nice because you can see the kilometers in the bottom corners here, and then price and whatever. There's another site I use a lot. Mileage, definitely my go-to is around 180, but I'll show you guys that again later video. This is just kind of going over the sites that I use. Next would be, I'm guessing a lot of people here watching right now live around Calgary area, which is perfect because those are the only places I really know for auctions. So this is the auction site that's my favorite, called Graham Auctions. You know, like if you know a bit about cars, it's definitely can be a good deal. But you don't want to go to their regular auctions. What you're gonna want to do is go to their unreserved auctions. So let's see if they have one posted yet. Yeah, perfect. So that's actually this Saturday at the time I'm recording it. As you can see down there, a little bottom. It's November 27, 2018. So that's pretty cool. Little what do you call it? Time capsule. That's pretty sick, dude. So yeah, you're gonna want to do the unreserved vehicle sales only. Don't go to the reserved. It's literally so useless. It's a bunch of people who put their cars there. So the difference between reserved and unreserved is that reserved is when you bid on it, the owner has the option to say no if it's not enough money. And unreserved is you bid. Let's say it's literally like this would never happen. I mean, maybe if like 1 in a million, but let's say it's like a $6,000 car. You bid 1,000, it's sold. You get it for 1,000. But let's say it's a $6,000 car, and honestly, this happens all the time. You bid $5,000, and they're like, "No, I want 7." And it's like, no, that's never gonna happen. That's why a car's been sitting here for 4 weeks. So yeah, if you do decide to go to the auctions, I would definitely recommend Graham. The people there are super nice. I bought a car from here one time, and it was an out of province, and they didn't advertise that. So I called them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no problem. We haven't paid the seller yet." So they literally just held the money until they got an inspection on it, which saved me like $150, which is kind of a steal. Yeah, and so there's a lot less risk with Graham, which is kind of good, but we can get into some more details later. The other one's Michener Allen, also in North Calgary type of thing. They sell a lot of heavy machinery and stuff, but they do have a lot of cars. I've never actually bought a car from here, so I'm not too sure, but I've heard kind of some good things. The one you don't want to go to though is Regal Auctions. If you've ever heard of Regal, they're all over. If you do end up going on Facebook or whatever, you'll see a lot of cars from Regal Auctions, and you do not want to go there. They're just absolute scumbags. Like, I've only heard bad things, so definitely do not buy from Regal. Don't even go on their website. If you see it like Regal Auctions, Regal Auctions, Regal Auctions, Regal Auctions, do not buy from Regal. Literal trash. It's the only thing I've ever heard of them. They do have some pretty good deals. Like, not deals, I should say. They have low prices, but that's not really what you're looking for. You're looking for good deals. So yeah, don't get caught up in that. Definitely do not go to Regal. And yeah, so those are the kind of sites that I use for looking at cars. So yeah, that's about it for this part. Just covering the sites I use. Go ahead and click on some of the next videos. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're just starting and you're just still picking some cars, looking for cars. So definitely watch the next videos that go in a little bit more detail of how to pick cars, not just where to go to pick them. And yeah, see you guys later.